is a work of at least 3 to 4 years of someone, and that he has produced in 10 to 15 pages. When we read that 10 to 15 pages, we have to read it giving due respect that the author has taken 3 to 4 years to get it all his research outcome in that 10 to 15 pages. So you have to read it very carefully. You have to read it very carefully, and if you want to understand something from that paper, you may require 1 day, 1 week, 15 days, or after 15 days also. With multiple readings, we may not understand a paper also. Anything is possible. That is what I told you, right? From 15 minutes to 15 days, anything is possible. At the end, we may not understand it. We may not understand it. Please mute your mic. So reading is very important. So how much reading? There is no specific time. You may understand some papers in 1 day, some papers in 1 week, or some paper for 2 weeks, or even we may not understand it. So that is what the question of research scholar is. How to read. So please read in such a way that you understand it. Okay. So then how much to read? How much means how many papers? Because whenever we ask, within the research scholar domain, when discussion is there, somebody says, I am having 100 papers. And someone else said, no, my list is 150. So 100, 150, it is not the appropriate way to read the papers. So how much to read means basically from the current literature, you have to go back in the past till the traces of your problem statement it arises, and it is useful. So till the traces you find and that traces are useful, so till that you have to go to the published papers. So when you go to that, it may be 10 years, it may be 15 years, it may be 50 years, because in the conventional courses, the traces you may get up to 50 years. In the computer end, so it may be for 5 years or 10 years maximum. So number of papers may be 50, or number of papers may be 150 or 300. So there is no limit to that. What you have to do right from the today, that means the present, the current literature, you have to go back till the traces you find it. Okay, so like this, you should read it for the research. So these are what the the research scholars and their questions. Okay, then one more is like how to develop oral written communication so that it is effective and efficient. So the oral and written communication, it should be effective and efficient. If it is with someone, because someone might be skilled in communication, it's fine, it's very good quality. Okay, if not, then you have to develop it. That is the oral communication as well as writing part. So when written communication is there, normally in third person, all papers you will find in third person. Okay, and the present continuous tense. Okay, so the present continuous third person, normally in that way you find the published papers. In a similar way, you have to write the technical report. Okay, so try to develop this, the oral communication and written communication. Then nowadays even few softwares are also there which helps you for grammatical help. You can get it through softwares, maybe like Ginger is there, or some other softwares are Grammarly is there, and some other softwares are there. The next is how and where to publish the paper, or how to patent on your research work. This is also a question in research scholars' mind. that the requirement is there to publish a paper. Okay, then how to publish and in which journal I should publish it. So how to publish means the steps. Where to publish, that is the journal. And the patent procedure. These are very important at the beginning. If you know, it will be helpful for you in your research work. Okay. So what are the steps to publish the paper? First of all, you have to, of course, write in the journal format. So you have to decide the journal first. You have to decide the journal where I should publish. So that is what at the beginning also I told you should have certain list of related journal. So if you prepare the list of related journals, then it's a very simple thing that you know the name of the journal where you want to publish it. See its author guideline that gives you the steps, that gives you a format, and you can write a paper in that. Okay, so as far as this journal is there, in the previous slide I mentioned these are the Scopus and SCI journals. They are always the best rated because in the international standards, when we see the impact factor, that is more important, and the SCI journal or Scopus journal, their impact factor is always being referred by international audience. The other impact factors, even the predatory journals, they also give certain impact factor. But what is impact factor and all, of course, when we go ahead, we can see what is impact factor, how it is calculated, and for that, what quality is required. That is also we can see. And then you can decide that, yeah, this journal is better or another journal is better. Okay, so there is I mean there is no debate to that, but still the different journals, they have different qualities, right? So at the beginning, this all information a research scholar should have it. Okay, so one is the name of the journal where I should publish, and other is the steps to write the paper and publish it. Okay, then if someone want to go for patent, then what is the patent procedure? What is the patent procedure? So if I do the research and if I want to go for patent, then I should know the procedure also, at least a simple procedure of patenting the work. I should know it. Okay, because sometime if you publish the paper, you may not go for patent. So again, what is the via media in between? So that also I should know it, right? So this is one more point. Then how to manage the stress and time? This is also another one, because most of the research scholars, those who are full-time research scholars, it's good because they have a lot of time. But those who are part-time research scholars, they have a lot of stresses of the day working, then working for research, how to manage the time, and so on. So this question is a very common question to the part-time research scholars. So you have to manage this. You have to learn how to manage this stress and how to manage the time also, how to get the time for research. Okay, then a good relation with research guide and research student. That means the guide should have good relation with student and student should have good relation with guide. Then only your research will go ahead in a better way. Okay, so a fruitful research, it can come out, right? So one more point is like, what are the ethical issues in research? What are the ethical issues in research? Every research scholar should understand, he should know what is ethics. Ethics in research. So one is in research, other is in publishing. What is we call it as a plagiarism. Okay, so these ethical issues every research scholar should understand, should learn, and should act accordingly throughout his research career. Okay, so these are a few questions in the research scholar's mind. Okay, so then we will just go ahead with what is research. So many definitions are there. What exactly the research is. So basically in literature, if you see, it is a scientific and systematic search for pertinent information on a specific topic. So many definitions you will find. But for a engineering, if you see the definition, this definition, it is more, closer. It is more related when we go for the engineering side. Like research refers to the systematic method consisting of your first is defining the research problem, formulating a hypothesis, then collecting the facts or data, analyzing the facts, and reaching certain conclusions. These conclusions are either in the form of solutions towards the concerned problem or certain generalization for some theoretical formulation. So this is nothing but the research. Fine. So this definition, it is more fitted to the engineering side, like defining the problem. That means research is a systematic method consisting of defining the problem, formulating a hypothesis, collecting the facts or data, analyzing the facts, and reaching certain conclusions, either in the form of solutions towards the concerned problem or in certain generalizations for some theoretical formulation. So either the solutions can be given or the theoretical formulations can be possible. So this generalization for some theoretical formulation is, it's not common. It's a fundamental. But what is common mostly in engineering, what we see, the solution towards concerned problem, that is a very common thing. So this definition is a more appropriate definition for research. Okay, so status, if you see, everyone want, that is vision, excellence in research. Okay, so if every institute's vision, mission and all, you just check it, somewhere the research is there, excellence in research. That is a vision. But what is the ground reality? The low impact of large scientific manpower. Scientific manpower is very large, but their impact is very low. And this gap is there from low impact of large scientific manpower to reaching for excellence in research. This is the status and the ground reality. Okay, so there is a need to strengthen research culture. In every institute, the research culture should be there and it should be strengthened. Like those who have visited IITs or IISc, they can understand that what is a research culture. Such culture, it should be developed in even the state institutes, in the universities. So that research culture, developing the research culture is very much important. Also, the confidence of research scholars should be increased along with professional pride. The confidence of research scholars, that should be increased. Okay, so it is not that only in the national institutes the research is good or research is possible. It is possible everywhere. In the state institutes also, a similar kind of research like those who did in IIT, a similar research is possible. But for that you have to show your publications, your patents, your publication in the similar journals, how these national institutes they do, like in Scopus and SCI journals, like patents. If that is possible, then definitely the research culture in the institute is possible. If you simply depend on, predatory journals and some so-so journals, then the research culture is very difficult in an institute. Okay. So the experience is required to understand the research process, and experience without thought is a slow and painful way of learning. If only experience is there, if no thought is there, it's a painful way of learning. So we have to understand the research process. To understand, of course, you have to work continuously so that the experience will, will take you ahead in the research process. The research scholar has to define the problem and to solve it. There are no ready problems in research. This you should understand. There are no ready problems. Of course, nowadays a lot of fake phone calls we receive. That do you want a PhD thesis? Do you want the PhD problem and then the solution also with binding? So many fake calls we receive nowadays, but that is not a correct way of doing the research. Okay, so please understand that there are no ready problems in the research. Okay, you have to search, you have to go through the literature, you have to discuss with your colleagues, you have to discuss with the stakeholders, you have to ask so many questions to the stakeholders. Then you can come out with a few, words or the statements that, yeah, in this area, I can work for research which is not been explored, which has not been explored. Okay, so that is why it is called as like PhD is a time unbound examination. There is no time bound examination. So in 3 years PhD, no, it's not like that. Minimum 3 years, okay, but it is not. It is a time unbound examination. Multiple attempts are allowed. Also, the problems are different for different scholars. So this also, it is a at the beginning understanding, it should be such that there is no time. It is an unbound examination. Then the problems are different for different scholars. Okay. So then what are the research needs? If doubt is there, it's a good part rather than ready acceptance. Extensive reading, that is another requirement of research. Then persistence, that is management of boredom and frustration. Good relations with guide and fellow scholars also. This is what the research needs. Okay. Of course, few statements are there like all progress is born of inquiry. Doubt is often better than overconfidence. So don't be under overconfidence in research. For it leads to inquiry. Because if doubt is there, inquiry is there. And inquiry leads to invention. Because you have to go to the invention part. So doubt is a beginning and invention, it is the end. Even one good statement is there: if a researcher begins his work with certainties. If I begin my work with certainties, right from the beginning, everything is fine, 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 like that. He shall end in doubts. But if he begins with doubts, he will end in certainties. So your end should be certainty and beginning is doubt. So this is how going towards like understanding the research scholar. Understanding the research scholar. Okay. So there are so many requirements like why to do the research. Of course, a very good is like service to the society. Satisfaction. intellectual satisfaction of doing creative work. One more is like face the challenge of solving unsolved problems and enhance your career opportunities and earnings. So these are the reasons why people do the research. Okay. Then in discussion itself, I told you like list down 10 to 20 journals of your research area. 10 to 20 journals of your research area. So normally this while discussing with students, we give certain assignments and like preferably SCI or SCI expanded and Scopus. So that every research scholar will know about that which are the journals in my area, which are the journals where like on the problem where I'm working. So related to that, which are the best journals? Then understanding impact factor. Being the beginner, I should know what is impact factor, because everyone says that my journal is having so and so impact factor, 3.125, something like that. So what is this impact factor? What is H index? What is I-10 index? What are citations? These are all, they are basically the scientometric tools. These are all scientometric tools. Basically, it comes under library science. But whether your research is having good standing or not, are your research is comparable with the national institutes? Where you stand in research? If someone want to see it, then these are the best way. That is how many papers they are in good impact factor. So for that you should know what is a good impact factor in my area. Say if I say water resources engineering, hydrology, hydrogeology, whatever the different areas are there. So what is the highest impact factor journal in my area? Highest impact factor journal in my area. So if I find that, so hardly 4 to 5 impact factor, that is a maximum one. But when you go to the science area, science, climatic science or any other sciences, you'll find the impact factor even 20, 25 or so. Okay, so you cannot compare this 4 with 20. You cannot compare 4 with 15. So that is what your area is more important. So within your area, what is the highest impact factor that as a research scholar, I should know it. What is H index? What is I-10 index? What are citations? How many citations? Every individual research scholar, they have their citation. So who maintains this? One is Google Scholar. And other is this Scopus. They maintain the citations. Okay, so Scopus citations are different. Google Scholar citations are different. Google Scholar database, anything is included. That is why if your Google Scholar citation is suppose 1000, may not be it is in Scopus. The Scopus citation may be 500. Okay, so that is what the user will decide whether to see the Scopus citation or Google Scholar citation for understanding your research on the international platform. Okay. Then one more thing is like normally we tell to the students that read the biodata or CV of your top listed professors and researchers of your research area. Okay, so you have to go to the national or international website, the institutes, universities, and just see who are the the researchers or who are the professors who are working in my area, and what are their publications. Even if you read the publications, you will understand that how a professor is, enhancing his research in a particular area. And you will understand that today, what is the research status in a particular area. That is how the national platform and international platform, the people are working in a particular area, so that I can decide my own topic is when you have decided, then you can decide that what should be the objectives of my research. What should be the objective of my research? So you can know the current status of research when you read the published papers of the top researchers. Okay. Then of course we always tell to the students, because the students are the beginners. So the research gate or any other research body related to the research area, you should become the member, so that you can get lot of information. You can get lot of information. Nowadays, of course, you can use the the chat GPT, but being the researcher, you should use it very carefully. Okay. Publishing is very much important. Why it is so? Because it will give you the international standing. Even in some of the institutes, either you have to publish it or you have to perish it. Okay. So publishing is essential. Internationally, you will be recognized. So whatever work you do with very honestly, and then you should publish it. Okay. Then few things are there, like the searcher's frustration. The simply if you read the words, you will understand what is the today's research scholars requirements. Maybe like, I don't want to search, I just want to find it. Because of this only, nowadays there are certain institutes and centers, who are working for somebody else PhD. That is what we receive the call. Do you want PhD? Do you want help for PhD? Okay. So actually it is a very, wrong way of looking towards PhD. Okay. So I just want to find it. Nothing like that. You have to search it. That is what the requirement is. One more frustration is like, just give me the answer and make sure that it is right. Both things are not possible. You cannot get answer directly in research, because you have to see so many trials, you have to work, and at the end you have to decide that yes, this is what the solution is. So sometimes the solution we may not get correctly also. But what is the expectation? Just give me the answer and make sure that it's right. These are all frustration of research scholar. So please don't take it in your mind. Okay. So research has always been challenging, but there are so many resources available online that finding an important article can feel like an impossible task. That is what I told you, it is a junk. Okay. So online resources are there. You just go on searching, lot of papers you can find it. But whatever the paper you want, sometime we may not get it. Right? So this is also quite possible at the beginning stage. Okay. So just I told you like the impact factor of a journal. So what is this impact factor of a journal? If you look to this calculation at the end, like number of times articles of a journal published in previous 3 years, like 17, 18, 19. Okay. So number of times article of a journal published in previous 3 years were cited by indexed journal during fourth year 2020. This is impact factor of 2020. So how to calculate? The number of times articles of a journal published in previous 3 years divided by the number of article published in 17, 18 and 19 in a journal. Okay. So this gives you the impact factor. So it is a measure of, basically what is this impact factor? Measure of frequency with which the average article in a journal has been cited in a particular year. It is used to measure the importance of rank of a journal by calculating the times its articles are cited. Okay. There are so many other tools also, like the JCR, then SJR, SNIP. Okay. So this provides the ranking of journals, right? Then citation is there. The process whereby the impact or quality of an article is assessed by counting the number of times other authors mention in their work. Number of times other authors they mention in their work. Okay, so that is what is citation. Suppose if for a paper, if I am getting 10 citation, that means that paper is referred by maybe 100 people, but out of that 10 research scholars they have used it, they have mentioned in their paper, and that paper is published in some other journal. Okay, so then I will get 10 citation. I have published a very good paper, but if no one is using it, maybe it is read by 1,000 people, 1,000 research scholars, but out of that, no one has mentioned my work in their paper. What does it mean? My citation is 0. That means my topic, my problem statement, it should be such that it is, useful to the society. It is useful to the stakeholders so that everyone will use it. And this happens. Some papers may be having citation very less, and some of the papers the citation is very huge. So this is only because of utility of that paper in the research. What the utility is. Okay, so please see that your topic, it should be such that the utility of the topic is more, so that the research, the next research scholars, upcoming research scholars, they can use your paper, and even your citation it will increase. Okay, then one more is there, H index. It is suggested by George Hirsch in 2005. And basically, the number of papers and number of citations. Okay, so it is an author level matrix. H index is an author level matrix that measures the both productivity and the citation impact of the publication. Okay, so if your papers, suppose number of papers are, here, if I take 10, okay, and number of citations should be, for all these 10 papers, should be 10 or more than 10. Suppose my first paper is having citation maybe 200. Second paper is having citation 100. Third paper is having citation 50. Fourth paper is having citation 40. Fifth paper is having citation 10. Sixth paper is having citation, suppose 9. So all these are, 10 and above. This is 6 is 9, 7 is 3. That means when I go to this 7, citation is less than my published paper number. So number of published papers are 7, but 7th paper is having only 3 citation, whereas 6th paper is having more than 6, that is 9. And above that, all citations are more than 6. That is why my H index is 6. So like this it is calculated. So suppose if somebody's published papers, just a minute, I am having a urgent call. Hello. हो. लिंक पाठवली. हो. So if published papers are 100, okay, and all 100 papers they are having citations either 100 or more than 100, greater. Okay, so my H index is 100. What does it mean? That means I am a continuous researcher. I am a continuous researcher. Okay, suppose my first paper is 200, second paper is 100, third paper is only 5 instead of 55. Thereafter, there are no citations. What is my citation? It's only 3. I mean H index. H index is 3 because 4 is having 0. So 3 is having 5. So what it shows? Only for first 2 papers and to some extent third paper, my work is good. Thereafter, no one is using my paper because all these are the zeros. That means I am not a good researcher. So this is how it is a matrix to be taken. Okay. So this objective of research and all we will see tomorrow. Okay. I'm having another meeting, so I'm extremely sorry that I cannot continue up to 8 o'clock, but tomorrow I will do it. So today I will stop. If you have questions in 5 minutes, we can answer for this.
Okay, thank you, sir. Any questions from the participants, please?
Sir, what is the I index?
I10. I10 means the number of papers whose citations are more than 10. Number of citations to a paper more than 10. So if that paper, suppose I am having total 150 papers published. Out of that, if I have suppose 20 papers whose citations are more than 10. So my I10 index is 20.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Can you show video PPTs?
Hello.
Hello.
Huh?
I have a question. You told that the about like the research and all, right? It's very tedious. It's time consuming, and it's gonna take a lot of effort. And you cannot like we shouldn't be completely depending upon the supervisor for the completion of the thesis and all. So my question is that this is a very time consuming, right? So being a full-time research scholar, inshallah, like how are we supposed to finish the thesis in time then? Is there any particular things to be kept in mind?
No, that is what the time management is very much important. Whatever the time a full-time research scholar gives for a work, so a part-time research scholar, he should find his time in such a way that more time he can give for research work. That is what a time management is important.
Yes, sir. Agreed. Completely agree with you that time management is very important. But the question is that when the process is so tedious, when the search is not easy, when there are so many things to be considered, when the sites are confusing, there is junk knowledge, whereas there's so many obstacles, and where if not completely depending upon the supervisor as well. So how are we gonna finish it in 3 years of time? My question is like that, sir.
No, in 3 years, see, complete in 3 years, that is individual. It is always up to individual. I mean, is it possible to complete in 3 years? If someone asks me, I always say it is difficult, even for a full-time candidate also.
Uh-huh. Okay, I see. Okay. Thank you.
Yes. Any more questions from the participants, please?
Okay, I think there are no questions. We can take it tomorrow.
Oh yes, surely, sir.
Tomorrow at
So,
what time?
so
Yeah,
tomorrow the
same,
time
6 o'clock.
same
6 o'clock.
So,
Okay, sir.
okay. So, give me
Okay,
a
thank you
moment.
very
I
much.
think there's a network glitch.
Hello,
Yes.
sir.
All right. So, as for today, on behalf of JSPM University Pune, we express our heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed guest speaker for the day, Dr. D.G. Regular sir, for sharing his valuable insights on the topic of research methodology. The knowledge that sir has imparted today, I'm sure that it will be of great benefit to all the student aspirants in their research careers. And again, Dr. Regular, he has dedicated his career to advancing knowledge and has made significant contributions in this field of research. So his session basically was exceptional, as I felt. So once again, sir, we sincerely appreciate the time and effort that you have invested in preparing for this insightful session for the day. Your commitment in nurturing our generation, that is the next generation of researchers, is highly commendable. So once again, on behalf of the staff, students, management of JSPM University Pune, we thank you, sir, for sharing your invaluable expertise on research methodology. Your contribution will definitely have a lasting impact on all the student PhD aspirants of our university. So, thank you once again, sir, for the day, for sparing
Okay,
your
thank you.
valuable
Thank
time.
you very much.
And
Thank you.
we look
Hello,
forward
hello,
to
sir.
meeting you tomorrow again.
Thank you very
Hello.
much.
So,
And the
thank you, sir.
remaining questions we will take tomorrow. I have another meeting, please.
Hello,
Okay,
sir. Am I audible?
as sir is having a meeting today, he is in a busy schedule. So please keep your questions noted and we'll take them tomorrow during the tomorrow session.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello. Yes, sir.
Yeah, am I audible, sir?
Yes, sir, you're audible. There is some network glitch, I believe. But yes, you're
Hello.
audible,
Am I
sir.
audible now, sir?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Actually, sir, I just have one question that whether these sessions can be from 7 to 9 p.m. because generally we travel during this time.
Well, I think this has to be put to the management and it is up to the management to decide. So let us have a discussion on that.
It will
So
be
it
great
is,
because, sir, generally most of the faculties do travel during this time.
yes, it is a kind request, sir. Please consider it that take it at 7 p.m. only.
Okay, I understand your concern there, and definitely this would be put up to the authorities, and share our best to the team in this regard.
Hello, sir. Can you hear
Thank you,
me?
sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear
Hello.
me? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Hello.
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 Seems there is some network issue.
Okay, sir. Can you hear me? Hello.
Sir, sir, are you there?
Sir, I got mail from your support system team. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Mr. Sir. Hello.
Hello.
Mr. Sir, can you hear me? Hello.
Hello. Sir, you are not audible.
Hello.
Hello.
Sir, I got mail from your support team.
Yes.
In that mail, your applicant list are
Ma'am,
displayed
no.
on the
Sorry
official
to
site.
interrupt, ma'am, but you are not audible. I cannot hear you clearly.
Sir, in that mail, there is mentioned the applicant list are displayed on the official site, but I cannot see that list, sir.
Ma'am, I am sorry to interrupt you again, but you are not audible to me. I am not able to hear you.
Sir, actually we have displayed list
Yes.
on the website. Kindly ask candidates to check it once again. Please check it on
Okay.
website. Under admission section, there is a PhD entity. Please go on that entity. And there is a list of enrolled candidates. We have uploaded it, ma'am. Kindly check it once again.
Okay.
We have uploaded it faculty wise, subject wise list is available. Please check it.
Yeah, I have checked, but it's visible to me, ma'am.
Okay, we will resolve that issue tomorrow. Now this is a research methodology session, ma'am. We can talk
Okay,
to
no
you
problem.
personally tomorrow, okay?
Okay, no
Yeah.
problem.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Okay.
Okay.
Gupta sir.
So thank you all the participants for joining in, and we look forward to meeting you again tomorrow. And, discuss about your concern with the higher authorities, and if there is any changes, you will get a mail regarding that. So we'll see you tomorrow again. Thank you
Yes.
so much for joining in, and we are ending the meeting as of now. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you, Deshpande sir. Thank you so much. And Gupta sir as well.
Thank you, madam. Thank you, madam.
Thank you, sir. Can we leave?
ही कुणाची तर पेन्सिल राहिली
Hello, sir. Hello. 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 Hello.
एका दिवशी न जेवायला काय आहे तुला एका दिवशी न जेवायला काय झालं त्यांना